Okay, I'm going to call this one the fitting, because I don't know what time it is, but I've been fiddle farting around with this thing for a while. But that's all right. I don't mind it. I'm learning a few things. I'm learning that as with everything, construction and whatever, there comes a point to where you have to say, all right, that's good. That's good enough. I could spend another X amount of time on it, and it's not going to look much better. So let me give you a look-see. One important factor is, now remember, I looked at my corners inside. All right, I got 90, 90, 88, and 88, right? So it stands to reason that if this wall is 88, then this wall is going to be 88. Same thing with this one. If the inside wall is 88, this wall is going to be 88. So I decided to take my little, as my buddy John said, and you know, my cool toy or tool, it's a toy too, and check my my angle, and sure enough, it's 88.5, give or take, something like that. So that's 2 degrees off away from 90. So that 2 degrees is what I've been fighting. Let me pull you out. That 2 degrees is what I've been fighting this whole time. So here's almost the finished product, right? And I'm not going to show you my little bit of character, but if you have a keen eye, you would see it. I know Smitty's going to see it. He's going to say, "Yeah, I saw it." I can tell you right now. All right, so there's this corner, and see the 88 comes into play right here, right at this part of the angle. Of course, my corner up there, but the 88 is what I've been fighting, trying to close this gap. That's where the 88 is you know, making me go back to the shop like 3 or 4 times and just take a little smidge off, right? So, but I put a 1/8, I think these are 1/8 spacer, because that's what it's going to be away from the wall. Because look where the jolly comes into the tile, so that's right flush with the end of the tile, and that's where I want it to be, right flush with it. Now, let's see, I might move it out. In fact, I will be moving it out, as we talked about in a previous video, remember? I'm going to move it out because I want to give me, yeah, it's definitely going to be moved out, because see how tight it is here? But I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about the marriage between this one and this one, how it's going to look. Because as long as I keep everything uniform, if whatever I pull this one out, I got to pull this one out. Remember, because these two, this is like a picture frame right here. So I want to, and that looks pretty good. I want you to look at it like, look, I'm giving you like a bird's eye view. No one's going to come and say, hey, let me look at this corner. Wait a minute. Hey, Bob, let me look at that corner you did, that mitered corner. If they say that, I'll say, all right, go take a look. Yeah, there's nothing to see. And this side, I have to be careful because I'm really close to here and I don't want to walk off the edge of my plank. So here's this side. And this is looking pretty daggone good as well. This almost looks better than the one to the left, right? And all right, I'll show you my little bit of character. It was something. It's always the way it is with Murphy's Law, right? So I'm using my hacksaw to cut off some waste, right? Not even the cut. I'm down here with my hacksaw. I'm going, minding my own P's and Q's, and I said, don't let the saw skip. And the next, and this is no lie, the next either pull or the push of my blade, it pulled out and it skipped along. So all right, that's all I'm going to show you. So that's my little bit of that was not by design. That was a definite accident. So all right, so that's looking really good. I can live with that. Let's look at this one once again. Yeah, see, that's going to be pulled out, but I'm not worried about the distance away. I'm worried about the marriage of the two, and I can live with that, because if I take it back out to the shop and pull some off, I might actually pull too much off and it might look worse. So I can live with that. All right, what else did I want to tell you? That was it, I think. So that is the most important one, because that's got 2 corners attached. This one down here It's not a corner. It's going to go flush to the deck tile. Same with this one over here. This one is not a corner. This is going to go flush to the deck tile. So the critical one was, of course, this top one. So I'm happy with how it looks. I can live with it. And like I said, I am going to do it at the same time I put the tile up, because I think that's probably the best way to go. I just have to get my spacing right here, and I have to get my spacing right there, and I just got to make sure, I got to make sure of a few things before I get some thinset made. But let me push in. Yeah, I'm real happy with it. I could spend, like I said, I went back to the shop about maybe four or five times, and that was getting the angle, my 88-degree angle, which on either side. Now that I got the angle right, I don't have to mess with the vertical jolly. I don't have to mess with this vertical jolly at the corner either. So that corner is set. That corner is done. All I have to worry about when I do the deck tile is making sure I do it flush with a flush cut, and then if I have to, I'll put a little dab of caulk down there, or maybe some grout, some tile grout. So we'll see how that's going to work out. But I'm liking it. I mean, it adds a whole new personality, I think. All right, let's set the mood. Let's set the mood. No, that's not going to work. So it adds a whole new personality to it. So I'm gonna be fine with it. Now I just have to get the tile in, right? Set my space, get everything ready, mix some thinset, get the tile up, boop, space the tile out, support the tile with, even though probably a thick thinset would be like sticky enough, I hope, to keep it up there. I am going to use some clamps, just to give it a little bit of reinforcement to stay in place, because I really don't want it even drooping a little bit, because that would cause lippage. Well, I'll be putting the clamps up there. Yeah, so anyway, but I got these clamps, so I'll put them in place. All right. I think I might be done for the day, because I did a lot, even though it doesn't look like it. That was a lot. I mean, the tile folks out there that put this jolly up, I got to tip my hat to them, because I don't know, they must do a lot of work off camera, or whatever the case may be. But getting the top one right, wherever it meets corners, wherever it meets a corner, you got to slow down. You got to really slow down, because this has to look real pretty. That's got to look pretty. Both of these corners got to look real pretty, and they look really pretty from here, I'll tell you that. Okay. All right. I'll leave you be. It's a beautiful day. It's Monday. I think it's Monday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Monday. So the next steps are, let's see, what are the next steps? Well, tile. I got to install this tile under the cripple. I got to get that done. 3 pieces, spaced, and everything. I got to get that done, and putting in the jolly at the same time. So I got to get that done. This whole thing done, so I can move down to thin setting this jolly, thin setting that jolly. But that's going to set the tone. This jolly up here is going to set the tone for the 2 sides, because wherever the space is out here, that has to match the space on the sides. All right, I think I'm repeating myself, so I'll leave you be with this one. Let me see if I can get you some. Oh yeah, look at that. See that? Oh my. Oh boy. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Hope you're having a good day. There's going to be more to come.